My name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room on location at La Mesa Cafe Bistro. I'm super excited, long time. So I have to tell you, because this is an on location thing, I did have a plan today, and I'm going to stick to it, but I'm going to try to skedaddle through and be quick so we could, yuck it up. Oh, I'm good? Oh, good. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my segment, the Ubuntu Room is a place where we discuss all things personal empowerment, all things spiritual development, and everything that falls in between. It's where we recognize that the power is in our hands to create the lives that we desire, and that personal empowerment and spiritual development are very much intertwined, and each of us on our own journeys of self-discovery fall somewhere on that spectrum. My hope is by having these conversations, maybe I meet you where you fall, and perhaps we travel together. So, you ready? So today, I want to introduce the practicality of the chakra system. If you've been paying attention, the last several weeks, we've been talking about the clairs and all of our spiritual gifts and what that looks like for each of us. And now we're going to talk about how to align our energy centers so we can expand our clairs and live in our fullest potential. So in the upcoming weeks, we are going to dissect chakra per chakra, from the root or the tutor, I always say, but from the root chakra to the crown chakra with each week. But today, I just want to do a quick tutorial running through just what they look like when they're balanced, when they're imbalanced, and like I said, just kind of set the stage for what's coming. So, we each have 7 chakras within our body, and a chakra is an energy center. And our energy centers, it's like this swirling energy. Now, if you remember last week when I was talking about one creative force and we're all extensions of that, well, the energy comes through us. It comes through and out and through and out. And if our energy centers are blocked or stuck or stagnant, the aspects of ourselves that correspond with each chakra is going to be off balance. So what do I mean by that? It starts with the root chakra. The root chakra, represented in red, is your base chakra. Everybody is sitting on their root chakra. And the root chakra, the aspects of self that correlate with the root chakra are your sense of safety, security, grounding, stability, health in your physicality. And when your root chakra is out of whack, you may feel insecure, unstable. You may have health issues. The greatest age of resonance for the root chakra is between 0 and 7 years old. So if you're having issues with instability and insecurity and so on and so forth, it might be important to look at that age of resonance, something that might have happened in your life, maybe a trauma that hasn't been looked at, or a belief that's been picked up along the way that is disserving, or patterns that you're perpetuating that don't serve you. It starts with the root chakra. And actually, the first 3 chakras, your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus, which I'll explain in a second, are your foundational chakras. And when that foundation is out of alignment, everything else builds on that. And the way I look at it, it's like zipping up a zipper. When you try to zip up a zipper and the first couple teeth in your zipper are out of whack, you're never going to be able to pull it up because the teeth are off. But if you unzip the zipper and realign those teeth, every other tooth lines up so you can zip that zipper. And that's what the chakra system looks like. So your root chakra, 0 to 7, safety and security. Your next chakra is your sacral chakra, which is represented in orange. And the greatest age of resonance is between 0 and 14. And that represents your aspects of creativity, of sensuality, sexuality, intimacy, passion, zest for life. And if your root chakra is out of whack and you're feeling insecure, or something happens between the ages of 7 and 14, and every one of us has had something, if it's been unreconciled, that might affect your sense of intimacy. It could create feelings of guilt and shame that you carry into your life. Feelings of apathy, or not realizing that you are the creator of your reality. And if you don't understand that you're the creator of your reality, you live in victimhood. That's the first 14 years of your life, from your root and your sacral. The next one is your solar plexus chakra, located in your solar plexus, represented in yellow. Greatest age of resonance, 14 to 21. Now, your first three chakras, 0 to 21. If anything is out of balance, those teeth aren't going to line up, and the other aspects of yourself are going to be out of whack. But your solar plexus chakra is all about your identity. Last week, we were talking to Freddie and Dawn about your ego. But your ego is a good thing. It's about your identity, about your drive. But if it's out of whack, you may lack worthiness. You may not think that you're worthy to pursue your purpose. So think about it. If you have beliefs or patterns or trauma or any of those imbalances that haven't been reconciled in your first three chakras in those formative years, then the rest will be out of whack, and I'll quickly explain what that looks like. So, you're insecure, you feel like a victim, you carry shame and guilt, you're not sure about your identity, so your heart chakra, represented in green, greatest age of resonance, 21 to 28. That's when you go out into the world. That's when you start to bring other energies into your life other than your immediate sphere of influence. But if you carry shame and fear and lack identity, you may carry judgment. You may not be forgiving. You may carry resentments or lack compassion. And that affects all relationships. The next one is your throat chakra, represented in blue. Greatest age of resonance, 28 to 35. That's when we start to get our voice. That's all about communication, about speaking and living your truth, about your integrity, about being able to listen to others and tolerate others' beliefs. That, as I get excited, that is about your sense of authenticity. That seems to be the buzzword. Everybody wants to be authentic. But if you don't know who you are, if you lack identity, if you live in fear, if you carry guilt and shame, you are not going to have the courage to live authentically, to live from the heart space. If you're not living from the heart space, you're not going to live authentically. You're not going to be comfortable with yourself. Your next one is your third eye chakra, represented in purple or indigo. And that's all about your intuition, your imagination, your vision, your clarity, your discernment. If you are living in judgment, which is the heart, out of balance. If you don't know who you are, again, broken record hour with Dana Sardano, all of those things down the zipper, we're just going to ignore that. You will lack discernment, and that's where the fear creeps in, because decision making without clarity is like going blind. It's like being in the dark. The last one is your crown chakra, and your crown chakra, located in the crown, it's represented in lavender or white, and that is all about your sense of peace, presence, connectedness. It's about non-attachment to stuff, to relationships, to your story, to the past, or whatever it is. It's being able to be in a space of harmony, knowing, and I mentioned this a week or so ago, that everything is just information, and not becoming immersed in the emotion of it all. Now, when we recognize these developmental stages and recognize how they all build on one another, and recognize that these aspects of self directly correlate to our energy centers, we can tackle our external issues, the things in our life that bother us. And some of it is overwhelming. I'm sure people are going, oh, well, this is out of whack and that is out of whack when you're listening to me. But how do you attack an elephant? Attack an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? I guess you'd have to attack it to eat, whatever. But how do you eat an elephant? One aspect at a time. So what we're going to do in the upcoming weeks is, next week we're going to start with the root chakra, and we're going to dissect it, and we're going to look at hot tips. We're going to talk about crystals. We're going to talk about what creates the imbalances and what that looks like and how to bring it back into balance. And we're going to continue doing that all the way up the zipper. I want to share with you some resources that I have. I wrote a book a few years ago. I think it was in 2021. It's called, it's hard when I got a mic in my hand. I'm like, I like to talk like this, and it's a little bit difficult. But it's called Veda Finds Her Crown. It's got a little short story with some watercolor illustrations that I did, and then it's got a workbook in the back, and it's to assist children in processing their emotions through understanding these energy centers. I wrote it for adolescents, but I've done workshops for adults. It's really Chakras 101, and it's a really great assist. I also created a deck of cards as an accompaniment to the book. And so when we go through in the upcoming weeks, we'll pull cards, like I said, we'll do hot tips, and we'll really get to the bottom of it. So stick with me, because again, if you have any imbalances, if you have anything in your life that needs to be brought back into balance, we're going to do it one aspect at a time. So with that said, as always, thank you for listening, and Ubuntu.
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 Do I have? Yeah. Oh, I did. I just didn't. It just didn't.
Ubuntu.
Whoopsie. Okay, I got the card under my butt. Okay. So somebody in the cafe pulled this card. This is actually, Miss Guzzi, this is actually Chardonnay. Yeah, I painted her actually for a bistro in Coconut Creek. But the message is your inner voice. This one's good. Every day you are learning and absorbing. Even if you are unaware on a conscious level, absorption is occurring nonetheless. It is integrity to the self that will allow you to propel forward. You do not need to struggle. Trust your feelings and follow your initial impressions. Allow yourself to entertain the ideas of sudden inspiration. For no matter how illogical or out of place these ideas may seem, they are true communications from your soul, from yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Such a good one.